And here's just a reminder of the other Americans across Europe. Obviously, Weston McKennie, a big week for him. He got a goal in their win against Manchester City. Lindsay Horan and Katerina Macario scored in the Women's Champions League. And Anthony Robinson as well had a fantastic weekend for Fulham with 2 assists for Liverpool. But let's talk about Gio Reyna, because obviously we've all kind of seen his struggles, haven't we, over the years with the injuries and kind of fighting to get in and out of the team. What will this do for him, not only in terms of this goal, Mike, but in terms of his confidence as well moving forward?
Well, the biggest thing we always look at when Gio Reyna is playing at Borussia Dortmund is what impact does it have for the U.S. men's national team? And I had the opportunity to talk with Dortmund manager Nuri Sahin. I think I've probably said that 19 times, just like you.
That was the first time I heard it, Mike.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, well, you want to hear this.
All those trips to Italy.
I know. But when I talked with Sahin, I asked him, where does Gio Reyna sit in your plans? And he says, I love him. I want to play him. He just needs to be healthy. So you see the bit of quality that you see on that goal. It's a golazo. Just the technique, bring it down, and then hit it into that top corner. It's exceptional. I want to see more of that with the U.S. men's national team, and someone who will be sitting there with his mate up and probably clapping like this, golf clapping, is Mauricio Pochettino, thinking, okay, I have the arsenal where I can play Christian Pulisic at the 10, but I want to play Gio Reyna in that position. It frees up Christian when he's healthy, when he gets back, and produces like he's doing today, to play in that left wing position that he loves.
We selfishly think immediately, okay, well, how does it impact the national team, right? And if I'm Pochettino and I see this goal and I see him back fit, scoring goals, the first thing I think of is we don't have another guy like him, right? So you need him. I don't want to say he's the best player in the national team, but he's the most unique American player that we have. He's the most
That's a good point.
That has a European shine to him in terms of the way he can create, the way he can sit in the 10 spot, the way he can finish goals. I don't think we have very many players like him. We have the ball winners. We have the Pulisics that are quick and technical and quite dangerous on the dribble, but we don't really have a player like Gio with such a high IQ, that can break down things, that can feel games.
But how long has it been since we saw him at his best like that? Because
the question is his fitness. I mean, if he's fit, then everyone's excited about him. Yeah. Borussia Dortmund is excited about him. The national team's excited about him. Pochettino's excited about him. We're excited about him. Yeah. It's a matter of fitness, because you see here in the goal the quality.
Listen, I listened to Landon Donovan's podcast recently with Tim Howard, and it pissed me off a little bit, because he was saying that...
I thought you said you loved it.
No.
You said you love Landon.
No. I do love Landon. Landon, to me, is an absolute legend. I do love him. But at the same time, what he said was that Christian would have been better playing and developing in Major League Soccer, where he could play more regularly. That's not the problem with Giovanni. Giovanni's, that's not the problem for him. The problem is the health factor. He's got to be healthy. If he's healthy, this guy's playing for Borussia Dortmund, probably being sold somewhere else. He's been injured so often, so frequently. You've got a question about what that's doing to his mental health and his confidence. He's trying to get back and play, and when he's fit and he's healthy, Dortmund have already shown him that he will play.
And you know what's interesting is Pulisic had a similar story with, you had questions about his constant injuries. And then once he went to Milan and started playing week in and week out, he was less injured. As he's injured right now, but he was.
Yeah, but he's had consistency.
Good run, yeah.
Unbelievable consistency, unbelievable consistency. Not only fitness, scoring goals, assisting. So we know he's a similar case to Christian in terms of the talent and the ability. And then you just wonder that if he starts to play more regularly and if he can get a rhythm, that maybe the injuries go down as well.
If you look at players when they're healthy, when they're 100% healthy, is he the best and most dangerous American player, Giovanni Reyna?
I think it's still Pulisic. For me, I think it's still Pulisic, and I think there's also a lot of other key pieces in the team as well, but he's the most unique one. He's the one that can play between the lines, and those players are very difficult to find, I think.
Is it a bit Paulo Dybala-ish? We talk about him with Roma, and you say he's that player that, he's very unpredictable. You never know what you're going to get from him. He's such a special player.
He's very predictable. His injuries are very predictable.
That's the problem.
He plays in half the games.
Yeah, no, the timing...
But for the full salary, that's the problem.
Timing, I wish I had the salary too, but timing's everything right now for Gio Reyna. The timing of him coming back, getting a goal like this for Dortmund. You look at the players who are in the pecking order ahead of him because he's been out. Julian Brandt out with an injury. So you get a goal for a team right now that's left wanting. Look at where Dortmund are at in the table. They're just outside that Champions League window. And if you can continue to produce, stay healthy, but produce moments of magic for your club, I mean, you're catching a lot of eyes around the world, because Borussia Dortmund right now, yeah, you're saying it.
They need him right now. They need him to be fit. They need him to be healthy. Dortmund need their whole squad to be healthy, because right now they're on the outside looking into European places. It's nowhere near good enough for Nuri Sahin. If they don't make the Champions League spots, it's gone for him. He's done. So I think for him right now, he needs Giovanni Reyna to be playing well. And this was a great performance, obviously, to get a goal. It's wonderful to see him back healthy again. But to not win the game, that's a big big disappointment
Especially
right there.
against Hoffenheim.
Hoffenheim,
And
yeah.
they needed points to concede in the 91st minute as well is really disappointing from a team standpoint. But I suppose for Gio Reyna, time is on his side in terms of the World Cup, Grella. So does that make you feel confident that, he could have this spell like Christian Pulisic has, where you get a bit of confidence, you get your fitness back, and you've got an amazing run-up until 2026 from now on?
Yeah, and with the modern game, the progression of the sports technology and the preparation, all that stuff, the stuff I hated, by the way. Like towards
really?
the
That shocks me.
Yeah, the beginning of my career, there was like really none of it. Guys would come back from from off season, 10 pounds heavier, and just go into preseason, do the preseason. By that time, I got to the end of my career. It was like
science.
These guys were machines. I also was with Tyler Adams at Red Bull. This guy would come in and run like. Yeah. I was like, is this guy a human being or what?
Cyborg.
Unbelievable the way that they can run, the preparation, all the gym work, the strength, the medicines, the nutrition that goes into it. So as the game's progressing, hopefully Gio can also use all those things to his benefit, because they're all there now. They're all readily available.
I mean, you talk about Dortmund needing him, but how much do the US men's national team need him? Because he is a massive piece of this team. So how different do they look in 2026 with and without Gio?
It's a completely different team as far as I'm concerned. I'd go as far as to say is you need Gio Reyna on your side to be able to get to those next stages, the latter stages in the competition that you want to go into the knockout stages. He's a difference maker. Grella pointed it out perfectly. They don't have a player of his stature who can play in between that 10, in between the 6, who can play left, who can play the right, who can score goals, who can defend, who has a great attitude getting backwards. I mean, this guy pretty much does the lot. But the problem is, Mike, that you need him to be healthy. If he's not healthy 100%, he's going to be a disadvantage to your team. So Pochettino will be happy with this.
I think what gives me a lot more confidence with the current manager, Nuri Sahin, than previous managers. Nuri Sahin, he was a young, talented player who broke out in the Borussia Dortmund side. So managing the minutes, managing how you manage a player who right now mentally, even though he gets this goal, he's been a bit fragile. He's had to go through a lot of things off the field, a lot of things on the field, the weight of having the last name Reyna, which a lot of players don't have in the U.S. men's national team, the expectation of unfulfilled potential at different times, and just the experience of fulfilled potential in glimpses. This is going to be a massive next 6 months for him. I wish him the best of luck. I wish Dortmund the best of luck, but him specifically, because he could be a game changer for them.
Dortmund, especially with where they're sitting in the Champions League, looking pretty good in 9th place. They've got 12 points so far. So if you can get back in the fold, obviously they've got some big games coming up, haven't they?